exactly know everything that's happened. I'm over here trying to save some dogs' lives. We found some strays that were in a mess, and we're trying to get them. Actually, we're getting them out to California. My daughter's going to foster them. But my apologies. I'm not up to speed on what's going on.
Dr. E, did you want to take the lead on that one, or you want me to tell it?
Here you go. I'm tired.
So, Cece, basically, you know who Thomas Murphy is, right?
Yes, I do.
So Ralph Norman is he has this event today, and I guess he was gonna reveal that he was running for governor. And so yesterday, Thomas had posted because he was gonna attend the event, and he had tickets to the event. That he basically tagged our community if there's any questions that he would want us for him to ask at that event. Well, as you know, he telegraphed what he was doing, so they were expecting him already. As soon as he showed up, I'm assuming he showed up early because the doors weren't open. But then, as soon as he turned around and started walking away, this lady came up and called him by name and said that he's not allowed into the event. He's not welcome. So basically, the two sheriff's officers escorted him out to the vehicle, and that's where you see the recording, and they threatened him with arrest. So that's where we're at right now. Anybody else wants to add anything else, please?
Wow.
So I'm assuming that they knew that he was gonna ask Ralph Norman in regards of MMTLP, because it just doesn't make sense how, you know, a staff member was waiting for him and said, "Hey, Mr. Murphy," and he says yes, and then this says, "You're not welcome here." Imagine that, a combat veteran, right, running for a Senate seat, right, to be asked not to freaking that he's not allowed to come in. Why? Because he was going to ask a question. Like, how would that make you feel if you serve this country and then that's you're one of his constituents, and all of a sudden you go there to address your grievance, and all of a sudden you say no, you're not allowed here.
Wow, well, that's absolutely insane. And Ralph Norman and his staff, it sounds like they just did not handle that properly. If they would have done it right, it would have been an opportunity for Ralph Norman, right? But no, he didn't handle it correctly at all. And to turn down a vet, that's really political suicide. He really shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, now it's bad optics, and that's where I agree with Chad, and I think many of us agree. Like, that's not making it all about MMTLP, but what was the question that Thomas was going to ask that he was not allowed to be in that event? So Chad was absolutely 100% correct. So that's what we're doing now. We just, I put out a post, and I hope everybody in the community tags along and floods Ralph Norman's latest post that he just put out on running for governor. Read Fox News coverage of my announcement here. So show your love to Ralph Norman and express how you feel, MMTLP community.
That post is up in the nest, you said?
Yes, ma'am. I'll put it in the front. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, it's there. Should propagate right now. You see it?
Um, nope.
I see it. I'll text it to you.
Okay, that might be better. I see it now. I see it now.
Okay, I won't text it to you. Susie, go ahead.
I'm back, and I just want to let you know there's somebody that we all know and love that has been in this space.
My wife? Where is she at?
No, his name starts with a G and ends with a P. I mean, his first name starts with a J, and his last name starts with a P. FYI.
Thank you.
A J or a G?
Marduk sent you a mic. And I'm shocked a lot of people didn't take a mic. Rob, sit your mic. Marduk, I know, have you been around the whole entire space? You know what's going on?
Oh, I literally just got here. Dr. Reed, did you just say J.G. Wentworth?
No, she said that a J and a P is in the space. I think she means G and a P. Correct?
Yeah. She,
She's not.
she did say G. She did say G. But yeah, no, I'm just seeing Thomas's post now, and that's wild.
Yeah, because I think I seen you respond back to Thomas yesterday in regards of his post that he was asking the community for any questions that we might want to shoot at him so he could ask those questions during that event today.
I mean, that's blatant disregard for your First Amendment. I don't understand what the issue was. And then he's like, "Can may I ask like why I'm being asked to leave?" And the guy just like pointed at the exit and was like, "Please leave." Like, all right.
Yeah, and you know, Marduk, Thomas is not one that is always on the space, even though he listens in, but he's not continuously, posting about MMTLP. So my belief is that, of course, we always go back. They're watching, they're listening in, right? And that's exactly what happened. So as soon as they seen us react to that post and either repost it or comment on the post, they gave, my belief is Darcy a heads up. Imagine that.
It's possible. I would never rule that out.
Okay, so the way he told his story was that they called him by name. So their staff member, when he went in to the event, I believe it wasn't set to be open yet. But then when he started walking away to wait until the event opened up, a staff member called him by name and just tell him that he's not welcome there by name. Interesting, right?
It's a public event, though.
And that's what Robin is it's digging up, because now Wally came up and said that that facility there, even though it's not a public facility, is still owned by Ralph Norman's father. So he might own the venue. But I see what you're saying in regards to public event. If it's open to the public, that public property becomes public for that event.
Yeah, real classy.
So do your thing. Respond back. The post is up on the nest. The first one, Ralph Norman just posted 38 minutes ago. So we're just showing our displeasure. And Chad Caden was in here too. He basically said, don't make it all about MMTLP. Make it about why was he prevented from going into that event and what was the questions he was going to ask. That way, if media comes to him and says, hey, why were you booted out? What was the question? That's when you raise MMTLP. And of course, Mr. Esposito didn't record the space.
Well, he's gonna have to pull it and then dig through all the files they send him and find it.
It's Doctor Pal.
That's what's great
It's
about this
Doctor
community.
Pal, not Mister.
Doctor,
I'm
sorry,
joking.
my bad.
Joking.
But that's what's great about this community. Right away they started digging. so it's a fuck
Dude,
around and
I
find out.
literally was driving back from the beach. I'm like, I'm gonna open up a space, and like 10 minutes later, Busy's like, breaking news. I'm like, oh god.
K Camp, I see you on here. If you want to come up and talk about it, if not, we'll wait until Tuesday. It's up to you. I think Savvy's gonna do a space on Tuesday, and she's inviting some people in there in regards to this event today. Shit, Canada. Jenna, ¿cómo estás?
Hi there. I'm just driving, so I have to be careful here. I'm on speakerphone. I only heard a few minutes of the space earlier, just enough to get the gist of the situation. And sadly, it's not surprising that this has got to this point. It was only a matter of time before this sort of desperation started to happen. Um, that's all I wanted to say. And I think it goes without saying, you've probably already done it, but make sure you tag Rob Carter on any video and important posts about this. And as a reminder to everybody, just in case you didn't know, the Missouri Secretary of State is going to be on Rob's show this Wednesday. Um, I don't know yet if Denny Hoskins has the background on MMTLP. Busy, you probably know more about that than I do at this point. But guys, that interview just might be interesting on Wednesday. But be sure to tune in regardless and support Rob and his show. He has been a tremendous advocate for MMTLP. He's one of the good guys. And he's really stepping up to the plate for us. So show your support. If I find out anything else that might be interesting before Wednesday, I'll let y'all know. But yeah, Secretary of State Denny Hoskins, State of Missouri, on Rob Carter's show on
So let
Wednesday.
me answer your question. Yes, I already connected Thomas Murphy and Rob Carter, and Rob Carter gave me the thumbs up. I did have a conversation with Rob about 3 days ago. He did tell me about Mr. Hopkins going on that show, and yes, he is going to bring up MMTLP to him, and whatever you're working on, I think he's going to get him on you.
That is awesome news. Everybody tune into the Rob Carter show on Wednesday.
Starbird.
So, remind me, I was just checking Nancy Mace. She's going to be running for governor, is that correct?
What was the question? I'm sorry, I was typing that.
I thought Chad, I think it was Chad, but maybe it was Thomas Murphy said that she was being updated on this and was
Yes,
planning to address it.
yes,
I'm
right.
not seeing anything, but I just wanted to ask everybody to keep their eye on her.
Yes, Chad said that. Yes, 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 yes.
Goody goody.
Syntax, welcome back.
Hey, friend, do you think would it be helpful if we so I took Thomas's post and I put my own on so I had it on my post, and then that I was responding to a bunch of Ralph Norman's posts, right? Like asking him why he would exclude him from that event, particularly because, I mean, it's not like he's a Democrat, he's a Republican, right? He's a Republican, he's a veteran, he's an amputee, and there's no reason why in the country that we live in that is a we the people country that we're supposed to protect and preserve our rights and freedoms as set forth by our founding fathers, that he would exclude particularly someone like Thomas. So I'm wondering if like that, where okay, so I used that as a way to kind of highlight it on Ralph Norman's post, which I think is a good thing for us to do. But I also was wondering maybe like with Nancy Mace, like we were just talking about, maybe just saying, hey, we need your support. And it's in a kind and positive way, but then also tagging that story so that when she does address it, the people who've already been following her on social media, they may be intrigued by it. It may create more depth. What do you think? If we all did something like that in a positive way. Busy, that's directed at you, sir.
Yeah, sorry, I was just reading a message from Rob. My bad.
Oh,
It was
I see
Rob.
how it is. I
It
come to the
was Rob that
mic and you
mentioned, not
zone
Robert.
out.
I get confused. It was a lot of no, but I agree. Why not? I mean, listen, Chad was on there with you. You asked a great question, but he knows how politics works. I mean, some of us are starting to get a better understanding of it. But if Chad is, saying, "Hey, don't make it about MTLP, make it about combat veteran being removed from a public meeting. He has a First Amendment right to ask those questions, and you know I don't see why if he's running against what is it, Nancy Grace, or what did you say her name was? Macy.
Nancy May. Well, no, he had said that he had highlighted to Nancy Mason she was going to be all over it. So what I was thinking is because one thing that I know, I mean, there's politicians who are going to do the right thing to do the right thing, and then there are politicians, and I'm not saying they're mutually exclusive, like the two things can exist at the same time. But there's something to political capital, right? And being a seen as the champion for the people, and actually being the champion of the people is even cooler, but to highlight that, right, so that when she does respond, it's more relevant and that might give her more of a desire to help. I mean, of course, because it's the right thing and what happened to Thomas was wrong, but
Absolutely.
also because
Yeah.
we want to help her.
Correct. Yeah. So you're not wrong. That's what I'm saying. If she's running against Ralph Norman for that seat, or any seat that she's running from, maybe he's vacating his South Carolina seat to become the governor. I mean, that could work in her favor, right? Especially if she's a veteran. I don't know. I don't know the background on her, but yeah, it's good. This all what happened today
It's,
backfire on Ralph Norman. That's
so
for sure.
let me ask you a question, Busy, because I know another veteran who's been super supportive to our community. Has this been brought up to Eli Crane?
No, but it should,
It
right?
absolutely should. And then also Charles Payne as well.
Well, the thing is that Charles Payne is more as financial. This is political, but
Well, when okay, so how about this? When the conversation, because like you can have tiered responses, right? So like when the conversation does come out, like what Chad was talking about, when they're like, "Oh, what was the question you were gonna ask?" and he's like, "Oh, MMTLP," then that's what ties it into the financial piece. So maybe it's like a strategy of waiting until it's pertinent for Charles. Do you know what I mean? Because isn't Charles a veteran too?
yes, he is.
Yeah, so it all marries well. It might just be a matter of timing because that matters, right?
Charles was military police.
Oh, he's an MP?
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that we've built relationships, and I think that what happened to Thomas is just extraordinarily egregious. Um, is Thomas still on here?
No, he took off.
Oh, he took off. Can you imagine if they had arrested him? Like, I wouldn't ever want that for him.
Well, threat or arrest is the same thing as just getting. You're just not physically doing it. So
I
under
know
duress,
that.
yeah, under duress and the threat of arrest, that's just it's the same thing as getting arrested. That's why
Well,
it's good that he got it on cam.
I wish that I wonder if there's anybody, I mean, if anybody sees it, if it surfaces later, if there was anybody who filmed it while he was in, that would have been amazing. Because they wouldn't respond to him on camera when he was asking again why he was being asked to leave.
Yeah, it's not good optics for Ralph, but the sheer fact that he got it on video and he says, "So if I don't leave, I'll be arrested," and they say, "Yep, you're gonna be arrested." That's that's clear as day. As just
Yeah.
it's the same thing as getting physically arrested.
Well,
Under
and then
duress, you're leaving because you're under threat of arrest.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and the thing is too, like what Chad was talking about, like we know because we saw what was it on what media outlet was it on when Ralph Norman totally disparaged John and the company and everything and he was spouting just unfactual information. Whose show was that? Do you remember?
I think it was Al from Boston. Are you talking about?
No. Oh, no, 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 no. It was that one guy that said he was going to make things right and then he didn't really make them right. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
Dan Ball. Yeah, no, I already contacted Dan Ball.
About this?
Yes,
Okay, good.
but
That would be lovely.
Chad is good friends with Dan, and so is Thomas. But
Oh,
I give him,
perfect.
yeah, I text him and tell him, hey, take a look at this. But he's probably with his family today. But
Yeah, yeah, because the thing is, like, I think if we can, and especially because if he's running for, um, a race, that's when they have to do a lot of FaceTime, right? So he's going to be at a lot of events. So strategically, it's very good for us. But he's going to be trying to get in front of, news outlets. And we know that one of his very strong weaknesses is the dude just can't communicate. Like he does not sound intellectual. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I mean, unless that's a front and it's a really good front, but if that's the case, because I mean, I thought that he just was challenged, but
I suggest to all humans here that you sue John Berta individually.
Sorry, I should have seen that coming. I just gave a mic. Sorry. Go ahead, continue.
No, you're fine. No, so like if there's any way to get him in front of speaking events or if there's any way to get him on camera because he does not like okay, so the difference between him cuz we know Pete Sessions is a snake too, right? So but Pete Sessions is more charismatic and I mean, he's slicker with his words, right? Like he does better at his show where Ralph Norman is just struggle bus, right? So I'm wondering if we could, and I appreciate everything you're doing, Busy, and the connections that you've made because as many opportunities that we can to get this guy on video, um, right now. And also too, like I think reaching out to Nancy Mace was a great idea. So anybody who may have an interest that Ralph Norman doesn't do so well, I mean, those are our allies. It's political warfare at its finest, right?
And that's the shielding that I'm talking about, right? They're shielding him from the tough questions, right? Anything that was pre-rehearsed, he's gonna do good. But when it comes down to MMTLP, the staff members got a heads up, and most likely because of his post last night, and they were not having that, so they were on the lookout for him. So yeah, it's all the questions. He's not like an Obama, or somebody like DeSantis. They got good comebacks. They're really eloquent speakers, right? Ralph Norman's not like that. So yeah, I understand what you're saying.
He lacks that what would you say, the ability to come up with things and quickly on the fly. He just doesn't have that tact. um so I mean that's one of those things. There's those candidates, right, where they have to have things pre-scripted. They have to know what the questions are. And I truly, I mean, shoot, I've seen that guy at the Capitol Hill Club and different events. He tries to schmooze, right? So I believe like he's got a lot of financial backers that he's been protecting their interests, and I don't trust his staffers, and we know why. But I think also to activating so the people who are in is it North Carolina or South Carolina? Where is he?
South.
Okay, the people in South Carolina, like the veterans groups, right? Your AMVETS, your DAV, your Legion, all those folks, like, hey, look, this is how he treats veterans. This is not okay.
Well, and the question is gonna be, asked. So, what was the reason for you to removing Mr. Thomas Murphy?
Yeah, because it's not like he's from the other party, right? He's not running the same race, so he's not a contender for that seat. That's not an issue. He's not, from another party. So why would you exclude him other than the MMTLP situation? Because there's not anything controversial that he's not aligned with.
And that's what I was trying to explain to Chad because I don't think Chad understood that Mr. Murphy had posted something last night in regards to MMTLP. So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, because they're watching it, right?
yeah,
They know
yeah.
he's an ally.
And he wasn't being disruptive, right? He didn't even get a chance to enter. So there wasn't like, oh, he got booted out because he was being disruptive, right? That wasn't the case. The event hadn't even taken place. He was waiting. He was actually there early.
You
So
know
Yeah, but
what?
if he's going to network with people, all they need to do is go to his social media page and see that MMTLP post is recent, and it's not long before they find how it's connected. So
Yeah, but that requires people to actually like go in. So like if you can get it in front of more people, um I mean I hear what you're saying and you're right. Like it leads to it directly. There's no other reason why he wouldn't have been let in.
correct.
yeah, I mean it's It's obvious. You know, he goes to a public event, he starts networking with people who have no idea who he is. But yeah, and
Well, was it
I guess Norman
hosted?
just doesn't want that story out there in South Carolina. So
You know what might be interesting, right? Just because I'm in these circles a little bit more now, it would be interesting to find out like who hosted those events because usually it's like a group or a foundation, or do we know about like where it was held, who was putting it on? Because that would be interesting too.
Yeah, Robin is digging into it right now. As we
Okay.
most likely. It's time. Go ahead.
I don't know how else to say this. I do not believe it's effective for us to give the reasons why. I think it's very effective for us to get him a platform in the manner in which we're saying, why was this veteran kicked out? Why was he kicked out? Why was he kicked out?
Mm-hmm.
Not coming up with the answers, but getting them to the platform so that the host can ask him, why were you kicked out? Not for us to give everyone the answer why we think he was kicked out. Let's let it happen in the media.
The Socratic method.
any South Carolinian shareholders want to host Thomas D. Murphy in a space?
I think Savvy's gonna do it on Tuesday, but they're waiting to Tuesday, not tomorrow, because there's a meeting that's gonna take place already set in stone. So Savvy wants to hear from those two constituents.
Well, anything we can do to help get the word out there. If she schedules it, we'll
Yeah. So I'm talking
share it about.
with her, and she said Tuesday. I was hoping tomorrow, but she wants to wait. But might be a good thing. In the meantime, yeah, just comment on that. If you're in the space and just barely got here, even though Dr. Esposito failed to record this space because he didn't know this was going to happen, Thomas Murphy has a post up on the Nest and also Ralph Norman's post. So just please comment, be cordial, but address your grievance and your displeasures. We're going to go to action. Yep. Thank you, Finn. Dr. E, are you still there? Crack Daddy.
Randy's yelling at me. Yeah.
How long? How much longer? Somebody else give a chance to Marduk or somebody else to open up a space.
I think I'm gonna cut it. I think we're good.
Can can I just make one more thought that came to my mind before we cut it?
Sure.
Okay, so what I was thinking about is because I'm sure Thomas has started developing his relationships. Um, it may be interesting because he's also trying to get a platform, right? To get his messaging out there. And it's very common for, oh shoot, it may be your Federation of Republican Women, it may be a veterans group, it may be something. I think veterans group would be appropriate. Well, actually, no, oftentimes they try and stay apolitical. But there's different groups, right, that like to host people who are running for different offices. And I think it would be very interesting just to give them an opportunity to speak. I think it would be very interesting if Thomas, if he was willing to, and I don't know, but to use some of his connections in that arena, right, to have those people reach out and see, to invite Ralph Norman to join one of those events, because also too, like the more things that he can say, hey, I'm not going to, because I think he's going to be avoidant, that also might be helpful as well. And then it speaks to those constituents in that area, like, oh, this man won't come, is he like afraid, like he can't speak, what's going on? Or he goes and he makes a fool of himself because we know he can't speak. But that's just a thought. Maybe a good old fundraiser. They like their money.
No hunger strike.
Oh, no, 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 no. That's old trauma. We've gotten over that.
I'm teasing
He
you.
has an opportunity to get the share count and help the community. I think he's going to need to do that to kind of save face here. I don't know what to tell this guy. It's a crazy move today.
Yeah, but look at Pete Sessions. They have to weigh their political capital, right? Like, does Ralph Norman have the political capital? And this just really hurt it. But Pete Sessions, I think he was trying, I believe Ralph was probably trying to avoid an event. I wonder if he has a fear like what happened with Pete Sessions, because that was a really bad look. And we should continue those types of things.
The community, if you're gonna be responding back to Ralph Norman, tag media, please. Thank you.
Hey, would you know what, Busy? Would you have, like, if you put a post out that's got like the different media outlets that you think might be helpful to tag, um, that might be nice if we just can be consistent if you're gonna make one of those posts.
I think Mr. Murphy did it on his post too. So take a look at that one. He's a OAN. Hold on a second. I'll give you the text message. Fox News.
Lowell also has a great list on his page. It's a whole thread of like he even has them, first through so whatever tier of media, podcasters, etc.
Thank you.
Hey, Busy.
Si, senor.
He could apologize to Murphy. He could help us get his share count, and he could be governor. I'm going to keep it positive. So, anything else? Let's uh, let's cut this. We're good.
Marduk, are you open up a space after this one? Just want to make sure I send everybody your way if you are.
Yeah, I can for a little bit.
You got guilted. You
All
got
right.
guilted into that.
You- Thank you,
One
Marduk.
more.
Thank you, Dr. E.
All right, buddy. Be good.
All right.
I'm going to pull this space even though I didn't record it. So give me a couple of days.
All right. Thanks.